So that was Generation Y and a nice whirlwind worldwide tour. The next segment is some more sharing of the dear departed. And this segment will be about Baba and Ma. And to do the honors about Baba is Vinayak.
Good evening, everybody. This is Vinayak, Rumjhum's husband. My father-in-law, Sri Proshun Gupta, or Proshun Babu as I always called him, was a man with a heart of gold, which may be a reason why his wife was called Shunama. Maybe. A sports enthusiast to the core, he played his life's innings with a straight bat. He lived and breathed tennis, cricket, football, rooting for East Bengal, of course. As a Davis Cup umpire, his footprints traversed from the grounds of South Club in Kolkata to the DLTA tennis grounds in New Delhi. My lasting memory of him is when visiting him at his home in Kolkata, him sitting relaxed in his famous chair in front of the teepee and shouting, "How's that? Goal, goal, maro, maro." So he was a sporting enthusiast to the core. So strong was his sporting influence that his children, Indranil, Rumjhum and Bappa, I believe, still start reading the daily newspaper from the back. You guessed right, from the sports pages. He had a knack of giving nicknames. So many of you present today have nicknames given by him that struck through life to various members of the Gupta Khandan. The nicknames have hilarious linkages to an inadvertent utterance or an offbeat incident, but they stick throughout life and they're hilarious. He had a great fondness for cars, arising no doubt from the times of the golden age of the Guptas, when the portico of the Theatre Road house would be adorned with Buicks, Studebakers and Morrises. He happily recounted to me that he had far exceeded his brief as he merrily drove around the continent, as Europe was called in the family. With younger brother T.C. Gupta, he far exceeded his brief and went round on a happy drive all around Europe just to test drive a new car for the family. As the eldest son of the Parivar, he came to symbolize everything that 47 Theatre Route stood for. Strong family bonds, a warm and caring touch, humorous leg pulling, regular family functions, chili chicken from Jimmy's kitchen, passionate outreach, and the preservation of a welcoming environment in a world that gets more individualistic and self-centered. So, Proshun Babu, we know you're around us just now, just to say that God finds it difficult to produce more people like you nowadays. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinayak. Today, let me not talk about the many roles that Ma has played in the family, which you all know about, and dwell instead on Ma as an individual. Before entering the Gupta household, as an 18-year-old, Ma was born and raised in a huge joint family in Allahabad. As a much pampered young girl, she excelled in badminton and in fact was the district Olympic sprinting champion. There was also the literary side of her interests, and Ma liked to pen her thoughts down in a personal diary, and later got the opportunity to read out some of her essays at Mangolic meetings. During Ma and Baba's visits to Delhi in the 90s, they got to chill and spend a relaxed time with us. And when we sat down to play 29, Ma would show up her naughty side, partnering with Chinku against Baba and me. She would so shamelessly cheat to win that a much upset Baba would protest saying, "Hey, tumi beshi beshi korcho." Ma's neighbors at Ramvatika loved her like their own. Her passion for terrace gardening, her desire to cook her culinary specialities, and her huge enthusiasm to get involved in every community activity, including pujo, was even written about in the press. She made the effort to learn how to use WhatsApp late in life, and finally graduate to being on Facebook. And with that, she kept herself in touch with family and friends during her later years. Ma did have a fighting spirit. Many know she came through 3 serious illnesses. So, to mobilize her hands, Pinku and I had persuaded Ma to get back to knitting, something she was excellent at. And she enthusiastically began to knit a woolen blanket for Ria's daughter Adelina. Alas, Ma was taken away before she completed that blanket. But her partially completed piece will find a special place on a wall in Ria's house in Buffalo. Ma was indeed a remarkable woman of substance with a lot of love to give. And before Ma says herself, stop Koro from above, let me now present an introduction to the young munchkins of our family, the fifth generation of the Gupta Parivar, our grandchildren.